I'm sorry, Mayor Gorton, I'm sorry,
Yes.
may I interject? And this is probably more appropriate at the very end of the meeting, given the way our agenda is structured, but I think it's important to say something now following the public comments that we've heard. So I ask for that privilege, if that's okay.
That's fine with me, council members. Is that all right with you?
So we have council rules about how we conduct ourselves. And I want to read one section that applies to council members, but I believe it also applies when we're taking public comment. Every council member shall confine himself or herself to the question, shall not use unbecoming or abusive language, and shall avoid dealing in personalities. While I was listening to some of these comments, I believe that that particular council rule was not followed. And I would like to suggest at this time that take under advisement, and it's certainly up to you, Mayor, as chair, and to anybody else who might be chairing, but to remind people that if they use abusive language or if they deal in personalities, that we will interrupt and stop their comments. It's hard to do it when it's happening. And there were a few times in these comments tonight when I felt like that guideline, that rule was being abused. But I didn't, then people went on and I didn't say anything. I didn't want to raise a point of order, but I think it might be helpful to remind people that that's not appropriate in this body. And if they want to deal in personalities, they need to find another venue. Thank you for that.
I'd like to ask you a question. I know that, and not to get into a long discussion about it, and I appreciate your bringing that up. I know that I was mentioned, council members were mentioned. I'm not sure I heard abusive language. I heard repeated what council members had made motions on and done. Is that part of what you're talking about?
I believe there was at least two different instances. One was referring to a present police officer, and one was referring to a council member where their motives were impugned. And I thought that was inappropriate.
Okay. In the future, how would the council like to handle that? Do you want me to just stop the person? This is a council meeting, so it's up to you how you would like me to handle that. And I'm happy to. I can read the council's rule beforehand if you would like for me to do that. I don't have a copy of it, but I'll get one. And perhaps that's all we need.
I think that, at least for the moment, that might be appropriate so that people commenting understand what the guidelines are, and
Okay.
that if in your judgment they're over the line, that you will interrupt, so they won't be surprised.
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay, I'm happy to do that. And this will become, I think, even more important when we go back in person, as those of you who've been here previously understand.
Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for bringing it up, Councilmember McKern.
Thank you, Mayor. Would it be possible to send our council rules to anybody who registers to sign up ahead of time?
Councilmember McKern, I do send an email to everyone who signs up to speak that outlines what is expected of the rules and the process for public comment. That's already a part of what I do when they sign up to speak, after we confirm them when they get the link for the meeting.
Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you clarifying. Thank you, Mayor.
Very good. All right. Thank you all very much.